Good morning, Tri-State. Thanks for watching 44 News this morning. I'm Melissa Schroeder. Yeah, it happened around 11 o'clock last night. Amanda Chodnicki is live on the scene. We're already doing this because I help volunteer for an after-school program at the Boys and Girls Club, and I know they have quite a few workshops where kids can learn that we're not all the same. People are different. Because it's back to school time, districts across the Tri-State are holding special events like School Outreach Day at Helfrich Park STEM Academy in Evansville. The Henderson County Fiscal Court is preparing the 2017-18 budget and reporting no tax increases will be needed. All righty, we'll see you real soon. Thank you, Jackie Brown. At 6:29 right now, we are just over 40 days until Evansville will be host to a brand new land-based casino. Think Vegas, only smaller. These are actually solar eclipse glasses, and you're looking for this ISO. That lets you know that they are safe to use to view the sun. Yes. This is really special. When I read this, I have a grandfather who served in World War II. He passed away not too long ago. Yeah. So I'm going to try not to get choked up. I'm getting a little emotional, but you said that he was holding those medals in his lap just before passing away. Just before passing away, he was holding those medals you gave him. I spoke to a dispatcher. They were so busy, so they didn't have a lot of time to talk to us, but he said this fire started around 5:09, and of course, several agencies out there responding. Again, we're taking a look back to a live picture, and it appears, Shelby, there is a firefighter. It's so hard to see with that smoke, but on a ladder. This is a live picture of what's going on. We're also told they are searching some residential areas along Blue Ridge Drive, and shots were just fired in that area moments ago. Here is a photo of what we're seeing from the street right now of this house explosion. This happened before 9 o'clock this morning in the 1700 block of Hercules Avenue. You can see quite a bit of destruction out there. Neighbors reporting there were people inside the home. ISP tweeting at this hour that there are injuries. Here is some video that we caught earlier this morning. This is from our Metro cam in Evansville. And what is the ideal age to get married? I'm interested to hear that one, Shelby. Jane King has those stories and more in this morning's Health Headlines Report.
All right.
It's 28 to 32. Perfect ages to get married.
Double down on this.
Jackie.
And thumbs up or thumbs down,
I'm
Melissa
asking
Schroeder.
for help. It's like The Price is Right.
Yeah.
Jackie, is it? What do I do? I don't.
Well,
I figured kind of like in the middle. The disgruntled debate viewer was asked, dude, keep it down a little bit. It's almost like he's watching a football game or something, but it was the debate. Really
Well,
got into
the
that.
Packer game or the debate, that could probably rise
Either way, he was pretty upset. Also trending on Twitter this morning, the Cavs, certainly with no help from Pacers fans, right? Well, down 2-0 in their series. The Pacers really needed a win last night with a matchup back in Indy. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. With the Pacers up 26, the Cavs still came back to win. Well, this is definitely an interesting story, Tommy, to say the least.
American ingenuity. This is American ingenuity at its best.
Here we go, if I can do this without laughing.
But it's in Cuba, so.
It is in Cuba. It's not here locally. And then I'm going to post this on our 44 News This Morning Facebook page. That way you can see all of the deals you can get. Cheers.
Your coffee smells so good. I want some.
It's Irish cream and sugar and yummy goodness. All right, hopefully you're enjoying your first cup this morning. Let's get things started with meteorologist Jackie Brown. Good morning, Jackie.
Washington.
The first round of questions begins at 9:30 this morning, so coming up. But the process started Monday. Round 1 went first to statements by the 20 members of the Senate Judiciary Committee, some praising Gorsuch's resume and record. Others used their time to criticize the president.
What I want is a cross between Socrates and Dirty Harry.
Gorsuch also had an opportunity to make opening statements. He promised if he's confirmed, he will be independent on the nation's highest courts. Those were his words. In Indiana, the Judicial Nominating Commission will hold public interviews for the 110th Supreme Court judicial position. There are 20 eligible applicants. The interviews begin this morning at the State House and will continue through Wednesday. A second round of interviews will take place in April. The commission will send 3 recommendations to the governor, who has 60 days to make his pick. An Indianapolis woman is set to go to trial in July after her baby's remains were found in a freezer. Authorities say 23-year-old Faiza Al-Khatib arrived at a funeral home carrying the baby's body wrapped inside a cooler. Investigators believe she delivered the child stillborn 11 days earlier in her bathroom. Detectives say a family member put the body in a garage freezer where it stayed for a week. Al-Khatib faces a felony charge of obstruction of justice and a misdemeanor charge of failure to report a dead body. For many years, people thought that in order to find out how long someone was going to live, you just needed to look at how long their parents lived. Well, not anymore. Experts say many factors need to be taken into account to get a sense of someone's longevity. There are a lot of things you can do to live longer, including having a pet, which can reduce the risk for heart disease. Also, be sure to take a vacation every year.
So it turns out that...
Wow. Well, reading is also important. Some doctors say just 30 minutes a day can add 2 years to your life. Knitting sweaters for chickens. Sounds like a joke, but a plucky group of retirees in suburban Boston hatched a plan. They want to keep the birds warm during the chilly New England weather. The unusual project began after elderly members of a knitting club heard about the hardships that some chickens suffer in cold temperatures. Since the project, egg production has jumped noticeably because the birds are all cozy warm in their sweaters. And many of the knitters say with everything going on in the world, this work is very calming. Sweaters for chickens, Jackie. What will we come up with next? How's it looking out there? When placing foster children into homes, the priority is always to keep siblings together and close to their families. But with such a large gap in kids needing a place to stay and families willing to open their homes, that's becoming more and more difficult.
Smash!
Spend just a few minutes at the golf house in Evansville and you'll see
Give me that hammer!
just how busy mom and dad are.
Fortunately for me, I get to leave for 8 hours and go to work.
Matthew and Sarah Goff adopted 3 foster children, Brady, Spencer, and Isaiah, and now they're hoping to adopt 2 more.
Not in a million years if he would have told me that we were going to be a family of 7, I think we probably both would have laughed and then maybe fell over.
The couple married in 2010. A year later, they wanted to try having children, but were told it would be a slim chance.
And we moved from a tiny house to this house with 4 bedrooms, and then we're like, what are we going to do? We have empty bedrooms and we may not ever have kids. So we decided to open our home as foster parents.
Now that's okay.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., it is go, go, go. Making breakfast, getting kids to daycare, add in playing and bedtime, and there almost aren't enough hours in the day. But the Goffs wouldn't have it any other way.
Give me that hammer!
I guess that at the end of the day, we got a beautiful, healthy, happy family.
I'm gonna make snake soup!
While foster parenting isn't always easy, it's a responsibility they hope other families will step up to because the need is greater than ever.
We have kids that are being shipped up on the other side of Indy because we don't have any foster homes for them here, which means to see their biological family, they have to travel 2 and 3 hours just for a visit. So something's got to give.
But honestly, we are in survival mode right now. We're just trying to find safe homes for children. So some of those other things have just been set aside, and that's really sad because we want to be able to keep kids together and we want to be able to keep them close to home when we can.
Nicole Schultz is the village's director of admissions for Southern Indiana. The nonprofit organization helps match up foster children and works with families wanting to adopt. Schultz says right now there are 300 foster children in Vanderburgh County waiting to be placed in a home, and the number is growing. How great is the need for foster care right now?
I can't even put into words how great the need is. I am getting calls literally from Department of Child Services offices around the state saying, we just need a foster home.
According to Schultz, the increase in foster care is being attributed to an increase in heroin and prescription drug abuse and mental health issues. But there is a way to help. Sign up to be a foster parent and change a child's life.
The joy these children can bring you, and when you see the difference that you're making in their lives, it only takes one person to make a difference in a child's life.
It's a difference Matthew and Sarah continue to make as they work toward their family of 7.
What is the trash can doing in here?
It's definitely life-changing.
Foster care advocates say if this is something a family has been considering, now is the time to do it. With more than 23,000 kids in foster care in the state of Indiana right now, the need is greater than ever. Melissa Schroeder, 44 News.